Worthy, another Laker legend, Derek Fisher. We got Allie Clifton joining us soon. Of course, Brez and Trudell will be working the postgame. Lakers win their 7th straight. AD returns, scores 35. Thank you, Dylan Brooks, for poking the bear. LeBron is incredible. Kuz has a motor. Lakers started down 22-2. So much to talk about. Fish, James, but we'll start with that incredible run, that blitz in the second half. Down 9, with 6 minutes left, going a 29-10 run.
Yeah, I guess, it's true. It's not how you start, it's how you finish. And I thought, what they were able to do in the second half, a big punch from their bench that kind of started that engine going. The starters really were a little sluggish, a lot of turnovers. Memphis playing the zone a little bit, making the Lakers adjust to that. But I thought that run, they turned it on.
Yeah, third quarter.
They turned it on in the third quarter. The defense, they got connected. You could see it. You could see the energy. You could see the guys talking to one another. They just woke up right away. And, once that happened, the defense just got going. Caruso, the steals, Schroeder, everybody was involved, blocking shots. I just thought LeBron James is – it's just – so you run out of words. We sit here every night. We try to come up, but sometimes you just can't say anything. You just look at what he does. That dunk. He's playing to the crowd. He's out there looking at the – he's an amazing athlete.
Are you not entertained?
In great shape. It's just fun to watch that second half.
Jump in there, Fish.
Yeah, the look changed, right? Early in the game, like you said, big game, it was very sluggish, not really engaged. Wesley Matthews checked in halfway through the first quarter. I thought that turned it a little bit. But Kuz's energy, kept them in it in that first quarter. And there was a play in the first quarter where AD helped get the turnover. They got a dunk. But the look changed from, we're halfway interested in this to now it's personal. And that was pretty much all that changed.
Yeah.
It became personal. Like Memphis was feeling too good. They were walking around with their chest out. And I just thought the grown men in the room
talking a little bit
decided that they were going to let the young guys know that, no, we're the grown men, we're the champs, and we're going to let you know what it is.
Well said. Let's hear from AD. He's standing by with Mike Trudell.
All right, Anthony Davis, just a bit of a slow start tonight. All right, Memphis was up 22-2. How did you guys flip on that switch and get things going?
I think we just try to get back in the rhythm. This team plays very fast. Obviously any team that we play, they're going to shoot the ball extremely well, and they shot the ball extremely well to start the game. Valanciunas got going. They made some threes, got in the paint, made some tough floaters, things like that. So we just tried to weather the storm, play through it, and stay together. And we were able to stay together through the course of the game, and was able to come up with the victory.
Anthony, you of course were out with the sore Achilles the last couple of games, 0 for 4 to start, and then you seemed to quickly get into a rhythm on it.
And I'll take care of this Achilles and get ready for, I think, that's Sunday.
So LeBron's sitting to your right right now, AD. I couldn't tell, but it looked like maybe he heard something on the court to get him going even a little bit extra. What did you see from him tonight, especially in that second half as things really flipped around?
He got hot. He hit the tough, turn around on the baseline, then come right back and hit a tough three. I'm not sure if anybody said anything to him or not. I wasn't aware of it, but he found ways to get going throughout the game. He always tried to get me going early. Been in that first quarter, especially this game, just trying to get back. But he found ways in the game to get himself going, and whether it's with playmaking or his shot making ability, and he used his shot making ability tonight. He had some plays, and me and him had some miscues we usually don't have, but it's just me missing 2 games with him, so we'll get it back, especially one late in the fourth. But he's able to make plays for his teammates and for himself, and you saw it tonight.
All right, a big matchup at Denver as we get you out of here, AD. Just any thoughts on that one as you guys now try to progress towards the rest of the season?
Yeah, it's a tough team. We came in here and beat them a couple days ago, and we know that they remember that, and Coach always reminds us that it's always tough to beat a team that you put out of the playoffs. So it's going to be tough to go up there and win, but we got the team to do it. We've shown that we can do it this year against this team, but we got to continue to play. We got to continue to play, continue to defend. We can't spot them points like we did tonight. In the past, 4 games that we spotted team points in that first quarter. Can't do that against a team like Denver. It'll be very, very tough to get back. So we got to continue to lock in defensively in the first quarter and you know, let that defense build up throughout the game and have solid offense.
AD, we appreciate the time. Go get some ice on that leg, all right?
Thank you.
So AD returns. You heard him talking to Mike Trudell about being a little bit sore, having to work through it. My friend Fish is better at math than me. I had him do some numbers. AD started 0 for 5, and then from there he was 16 of 22. He had 35 points and 9 rebounds. What did you see from the Lakers star?
You realize it's hard to make 16 out of 22 shots when you're in the gym by yourself.
Well aware.
Yeah, Anthony, I thought he got his rhythm back after, you know, you miss a few games, and even if you're working out, it takes time to find that game rhythm. The Lakers really wanted to get him going early. And he found the pace of how to play against this team, the length and the size. Valanciunas, bigger guys. I thought once he found the rhythm, there was nothing that the Grizzlies could do from there. And he just sustained it throughout the entire game for him. But LeBron for sure went up to another
You had to take
level.
a little hezzy because you looked down and you saw that crazy shot. That shot's not right. That's just, I mean, come on. That's a big game. You lost for words.
Yeah.
James, I've done enough games with you to know that, you know, when a guy's coming off injury or there's something maybe ailing a player, you're looking at movement, you're looking at how he's engaged. And I think it was the second quarter, he had that dunk, and he pinned that ball on a block. Lakers went out in transition. That's kind of, at least for me, when I was like, okay, AD looks like he's right. Like, what did you see from him early on as compared to when he really got going?
Well, I think anytime you're coming back from any type of injury, you know, your mind says, hey, I'm going out, I'm ready to go. But your body will take a little time. You know, you'll be a little hesitant as he was in the first quarter. But you're right, Gator. It was, you know, it was that one block where he tracked it. He made an extra effort to go get that one. Yeah. You know, that was a big play. And then when he gets focused on his shot, when he faces up and he gets locked into knocking down jumpers, he's almost impossible to stop. So you could see his energy as well. His energy was like, let me see what I got. Let me figure out the zone. They threw a zone at him. He had to figure out how he can get inside on that. But once he got locked in, you could just see the energy. He wasn't hesitating. He had his spin moves, a little bit more power to his moves. And from then, he was locked in and dialed in and ready to go.
Big Game Fish, we had Allie and Brezin here in the pregame show. We had a great discussion about MVP and LeBron and how, you know, the narrative is built early on in seasons. And there's been, you know, greatness fatigue with LeBron. The fact that he hasn't won it in 8 years is really baffling when you think about it. But this year he seems to be the front runner and the leader in the clubhouse 27 games in. And James, you even said at the top of the show, you're literally, I mean, every night we sit up here and he does remarkable things at that age. He hasn't missed a game yet. And tonight, you just saw that burst from him once again, running out of ways to describe him, truly. But right now, he's the front runner, and there's no one close.
Yeah, I think he's demonstrated that he wants it. You know, LeBron James wants another championship with the Lakers, and he is still having fun at 36. I mean, the guy's having fun. I mean, he puts in the work. And he, you know, he reaps the benefits. Not only does he play well, but he enjoys it. The fact that he took time to try to get AD off and get other players involved, and then when he saw it was time to turn it on, he's able to do it. He enjoys the work that he puts in practice. He loves for it to come to fruition on the court. The little spin moves, you know, driving downhill, you know, putting his shoulder into people. I think he enjoys seeing the benefits of the work that he does at 36. And, you know, he's got a good team of teammates around him. He feels very confident that he can go far with this team.
Fish, you know, you've played with all-time greats as well, just like James, too. I mean, the challenges, they love them. And James pointed out when he was doing this to the crowd, and there is no crowd. I mean, he's finding ways to motivate, to challenge himself, whether it's someone poking the bear, whatever it is, someone in the stands, staff member in Cleveland.
Yeah, no, that's what the great ones do, and that's how they separate themselves from everyone else. It's that it takes to keep pushing the right buttons in your own mind and in your own heart to still be the hardest working, to still put the most time in to try to be great. It's a great example for this team, and it's something that makes Anthony Davis's game better. It makes his teammates better. It makes coaches better. That's why he's the MVP, in my opinion. It's whether Anthony scores 35 points or not is irrelevant to the fact that playing with LeBron James makes you better, and that's what great teammates do.
You know, Fish, you saw Kobe go through this similar situation. how do they compare as far as, the work ethic? I know Kobe left a long legacy, and I'm just wondering how much LeBron has picked up on that.
Yeah, I mean, I think
And
LeBron's.
That happened to you guys last game, and knowing that you're back and Caruso's back, and you're in practice to try to work on those things. What do you say to one of those?
Stay together. We've proven that we can, come back, and it's early in the game, but we've proven that we can come back from deficits. Now, obviously, we don't want to be in those situations, but it was just stay together, continue to trust each other. They made some tough shots. Valanciunas got going in the beginning. K.A. hit some tough shots. Grayson Allen, all those guys making some tough shots around the rim. And we just continue to stick with our game plan. We tighten up on defense, and we're able to get back in the game. We missed some shots, some easy shots, but we continue to trust one another, trust our work, trust our game plan, and was able to get the victory. Come on, Ro, making all that noise, man.
Andy, have you ever seen a player who can just turn it on like LeBron does and has over this 7-game stretch, and especially there at the end of the third quarter tonight? I mean, how does he do that? What's it like to be around it?
Yeah, I know a player can do that. You're talking to him. Man, he's special, man. He can flip a switch. I mean, he tried to get guys going early. Get guys, confidence, get them some shots, get them some touches, and when it's time for him to turn it on, he's able to do so. Hit big shots, especially in that, late in that third. He kind of just took over and, led the team to the lead change, give us the lead, and when you got a guy to do that, it makes our job a lot easier. But he's a talent. No wonder. I mean, it's no wonder why he's in the MVP talks. In conversation with the greatest of all time, and all these things. Because he's able to do so much and have that switch like you talk about.
All right, Kyle Boone, please.
Hey, D, obviously you're shooting very well. It also looked like at times you were kind of flexing your right calf and ankle to see how that goes. What was sort of the balance of how you felt today? How close did it feel to being 100%?
It felt great going to the game. But as you play, because I'm always using, that Achilles tendon is just got sore towards the end, just constantly moving on it. But it felt great coming to the game, felt great throughout the game, but late game it kind of was bothering me a little bit. I felt like that we had the game, in hand where I was able to, and coach felt that way while I was able to, sit down the last 2.5. But felt great, get some treatment on tomorrow, and throughout the day, and then get ready for Denver.
Okay, we're gonna go to Rashawn Haylock, please.
Hey, AD, when there's a free throw at the opposite side and LeBron comes down to the bench and you and him are talking, kind of what are those conversations about? You guys are down, pretty big early in the game. Seeing you get a few times this season, what are those conversations like?
We're just talking about how to get back in the game, just talking about the game. Telling him about some plays that I see from the bench. He tells me about plays he sees from the bench. Figure out how we can get the lead. So we just constantly trying to help each other, with our game, things that we might not see, or some miscues that we saw that we haven't had a chance to talk about. And we talk about it then. So there's not many times where we both on the bench, so we can't really, discuss it besides timeouts, but usually that's when coach is talking and things like that. So we try to use those times to talk about what we see to help us out on the floor.
Okay, Dan Markey, please.
Hey, Andy, I have two for you. First one quickly. With the Achilles, have they told you this is something that you're going to be dealing with for a little while, or is this something that you could go away for treatment?
It could go away, obviously with rest and things like that, but I'm not trying to rest, so just trying to keep it, as loose as possible and make sure it's not, I want to say it's not the actual Achilles tendon where, you guys are thinking about, where it's, it can be scary. I forgot what the name of it is. Something that's over that's pretty sore. So it's not the actual tendon, which is why, it's comfortable for me to play and get it loose. So, and the doctors and training staff feel comfortable enough for me to go out there and perform as well. So, it's just something that's going to continue to, get better. Constantly doing treatment on it throughout the day, throughout the night, and wearing stuff in my shoes to help out the pain level, and wearing tape and all these things to make it feel better throughout the course of time, and eventually it'll get very, very good. I'm able to just go out there and play and not worry about it.
The second question I had for you was, in the 2 years you've been here, how big of a change have you seen in Kyle's just sort of overall comfort in what you guys need from him?
Who, Kyle Boone?
Just especially not Kyle Kuzma. No, most certainly not Kyle Boone. Kyle Kuzma, the valuable Kyle.
Nah, he's been good for it, man. He's grown. His playmaking is better. His catch and shoot has been better, and his value for our team has grown from even the beginning of last year to now, and he's making huge plays for us. His effort and energy is there every night. He's rebounding, making the hustle plays. Things that you didn't see a lot of last year. You saw spurts of it, but now you're seeing it every game with him, and he brings that spark for us, and with his shot making ability, and like I said, his playmaking has gotten better with his passing and things like that, and his energy and effort on the offensive glass. So he's made a jump. He's made a jump, and he's shown why he should be here. He should be in the rotation, and showing why he got paid, what he got paid. So we love him here. We were very happy to have him here, and he's only going to get better.
Here's a look at the next 5 games. Lakers will spend Valentine's Day in Denver before wrapping up a quick 2-game road trip against the Denver Nuggets and the Timberwolves. Then it's back home for the Brooklyn Nets. James Harden, KD.
Step back is hard, man. Like behind the back, going right to stop and still shoot right.
It was like he was dancing.
How strong you have to be to shoot that shot?
Yeah,
come on,
incredibly strong.
Lakers go a perfect 5 for 5 on the homestand. The winning streak is now at 7 in a row. Frank Vogel is talking with Mike in the media.
Hey Frank, what's the main differentiating factor between what you saw in the second half and even I guess after the 22-2 start? How did you see that switch flipped, and what does that tell you?
Well, I think it switched not at halftime. I think it switched when we get down 22-2. We prepare our guys to understand how much pressure this team plays with defensively, and we even talked about we can talk about it, but it's going to take a little bit of time to feel out how what their defensive style is. But we got to be better with our pressure release and all the things we do to counter their pressure. We didn't do any of it in the first quarter, so that put us on our heels a little bit defensively, and got off to a slow start. But after that, we kind of settled in. Didn't panic. This team over the last couple games after some slow starts hasn't panicked. Understand it's a long game, and you just focus on our execution, and we were able to turn it around.
And then LeBron's second half run and some of the plays he's making, even the dunk that he has when he's coming back in, coming off in the 3 overtime games. So what he told us the other day, he doesn't get tired, even in year 18. Just wondering your perspective on that.
It's just you're watching greatness, and he has these stretches. Obviously, he's just a big part of what we're doing as a team. But he has these stretches where the game just comes so easy to him, and whatever he wants to do, he's able to do, and it's really remarkable. What he's doing, whether it's year 18 or year 10, it would still be remarkable. But obviously, at this point in his career, to see him doing these types of things is, it's just special. And obviously, he was a big part of the win tonight.
Okay, Dan Wakey, please.
Frank, I got a question about Kyle Kuzma, to be clear. Your time with him, he's really made a leap as a rebounder. How much of that is role acceptance? How much of it is just maturity as a player?
Kuz's role changed. It's going to be a team built around AD and Bron, and they're going to be the primary options offensively. And he's going to be more of a second side scorer and find ways to impact the game type of role. And he's really taken that and run with it. There's a lot of different ways you can impact the game. As he's grown his offensive rebounding, he's really gotten comfortable with that aspect of his game and has given us a huge lift, and just creating a lot of extra possessions that are helping us win games. So, it's just a testament to understanding there's many ways you can impact the game without scoring, and what he's doing on the glass is one of them.
Anthony Davis led the Lakers tonight with 35 on, 28, 9, and 8. Lakers are 4-0 when they combine for 60 or more. No shock there. We know those stats. Fish, you ready for Fish's Focus? What are you breaking down?
Anthony Davis. I was just looking at that graphic.
Yeah.
When you have the two best players on the court every night.
Yep. You're in good shape. You can go down 22-2 and you still have a chance to win.
Every single game that you play. And I can relate to that experience. Here early in this game, Lakers having a tough time getting started. The score will go up here in the second. AD on the ground. He could have stayed there, but he continues to run back into the play. Big game. The last guy down the court does not run to the ball. He runs opposite to pick up the late offensive players. AD gets the steal. AC with a nice pass to Kuz for the finish. Goes from 22-2 to 22-4. Momentum starts to change right there. Kyle Anderson shooting. Wes Matthews on the close. AD, sometimes when he contests, he leaks out. This time, he gets back in the action. Oof. Pins the ball to the backboard. Now the Lakers are out in transition again. As you know now in the NBA, guys run the wing wide, spot up, get your feet set. KCP with his only 3 points, but a big momentum change right there. Here, watch Dennis. Clearing the lane here is going to pull Ja Morant this way. He has to follow Dennis, right? So as Ja starts to come this way, Dylan Brooks denying LeBron, reverse cut. Ja Morant says, let me make this business decision, get on out the way real quick. Now Dennis can't front in transition if there's no defense behind you. A lot of guys, they feel like they have to front when the guy's bigger, but if there's no defense behind you, you cannot front. Anthony Davis, they take advantage of this play a lot. They get him down the court early. He posts up, seals, takes advantage of his matchups. And so, a lot of the game tonight changed once Anthony Davis got into a rhythm and got going. From there, the Lakers dominated the rest of the night.
You want to add something in there, Big Game?
No, that's all good. I mean, that's a breakdown was amazing. When AD starts to assert himself, you can really tell, it's like he said, when you got two great players on your team, when LeBron and AD are going like that, it's going to be trouble for the opponent.
Kuz with a double-double off the bench, 20 points, 10 rebounds. We'll go back inside Staples Center for more post-game reaction when we come back.